Hey YouTube, what's happening? Haven't done any update videos for the Casey Anthony trial lately because frankly I've been watching, and when I haven't been watching, I've been working. Again, unlike Casey, I have a real job with real kids. I don't have a nanny, but I do have real aftercare, okay? I have the tax ID number to prove it, honey. Don't test me. But I want to say, I've been watching this case. I want to sort of summarize testimony from last Friday. I believe that was May 27th, May 28th, which was a Saturday, I believe, and then May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd. In short, her mother, Cindy Anthony, gave a just heart-wrenching testimony about how much she loved that little girl and all of the lies that Casey told her. And I think now that the Anthonys, Cindy, Lee, and George, if they ever had any doubts, Casey's a confirmed liar. I think really honestly they already knew she was a liar. Her mother knew that. It's just sort of something that came with the territory when it came to Casey, and she sort of dealt with it. But now, one too many lies. At some point you tell the wrong lie, and no one can ever forget that. And I think this is that time. So she really broke down. But what was also interesting was Casey broke down. I believe it was the first day after her mother's testimony, and her mother walked away from the stand, and she literally had a full-blown tantrum. And it wasn't about Kaylee. Notice that. She had the tantrum about Casey and how I think her mother wasn't helping her anymore, because her mother got up on the stand. Cindy got up on that stand, and I give kudos to her for doing what was best for Kaylee. And that means speaking up for her and telling the truth. Because for a long time, the Anthonys did not tell the truth. They were riding hard with Casey, but if the chickens have come home to roost, it's time to tell the truth. The next person on this list for testimony, there was a young woman who testified, who was the girlfriend of a friend. I believe she was the girlfriend of a friend of Tony's, or either a friend of Casey. I believe it was a friend of Tony's or a friend of Casey's. I don't quite remember. But she was in the car with Casey one time when she heard Casey lie to a couple of friends, and then when Casey hung up the phone, she basically made a statement, something to the degree of, "I'm such a great liar." It's not an admission of guilt of killing Kaylee, but it is an admission that you will lie as long as you possibly can. And she's already proven that. Anytime you will walk someone straight into Universal Studios as if you work there and keep that jig going until you know you can do it no more, you have a problem. The next person, Amy Hazinga, who used to be her former BFF. She testified, talked about conversations that Casey and her had in the past about her mother and her situation and all that stuff. I don't think that testimony helped her. The jury doesn't know about the checks and all that other stuff because Casey's already been convicted on that stuff, but honestly I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of this case. That's pocket change to all the rest of this. We also had her brother Lee Anthony testify. Lee came to the stand with a very different demeanor, but I think he came to the stand with just wanting to answer what was asked of him and nothing more than that. I think what he's struggling with is he knows his sister did something that resulted in Kaylee's death, and he has to deal with that and accept that, but at the same time doesn't necessarily want to be a part of the group that convicts her. To each his own. But he was there, and he did do his testimony, and again, he had some crucial pieces he couldn't remember initially, except when reminded by prosecution about the things that Casey said to him in the bedroom on the night of July 15th, when she was first brought home by Cindy. And those things were telling. Maybe I'm just a spiteful bitch. Maybe I am an irresponsible mother. All of those things. Why would you say those things if there isn't something else to that? Then the most recent riveting testimony we've been seeing has been from detectives that were associated with the case that were doing the interviews with Casey long before she was arrested, when they were just trying to figure out where Kaylee was. One of those particular detectives was Yuri Melnick, and he has been on the stand for more than one day. And today's testimony, June 2nd, was riveting because not only was Yuri questioned, but they took the time to play the audio interview. I don't want to call it an interrogation, but you might as well call it that. The audio for the interview at Universal when she took them to Universal to her job. and also jail videos. I think more than anything that's been said or displayed to jurors in this case thus far has been, the most powerful pieces have been the videos and audio of Casey herself, because that Casey is markedly different from the Casey in that courtroom, and the jurors need to know the difference, and I think today showed that. And reports say that the jurors were not very happy with Casey today, so we'll see what that holds for the rest of this case. The other piece of this that has been pretty interesting is the defense's attempts to go for a mistrial at every corner. It's not going to happen. We already know you're going to appeal. Just accept it for what it is. I'd just be interested in knowing if Baez is going to be a part of the appeals team. If I was Casey Anthony, I wouldn't do it. Nothing wrong with Baez. He's a fairly decent lawyer in pockets. But this is not the caliber of case he's really ready for. But I don't think he should put Mason up there. I used to think that. But when Mason gets up there, he gets a little combative. And the way he asks questions, or the questions that he asks, almost makes it seem like it's everybody else's fault that they didn't swoop in and save Casey. And that's not going to go over well with jurors about a trial about a murdered 2-year-old. So you got to find another way to go about asking these questions. That's not going to work. So I don't agree with that approach. Overall, I think that the prosecution is doing a good job with presenting their case, but they have yet to present still that she murdered her daughter. Yeah, you proved she's a liar, you proved that she has something to hide, but you haven't quite proven yet that she did do something. And that's what I'm waiting to see, and I guess that comes with the forensics. So that'll be interesting to see how the defense cross-examines the expert witnesses for the forensic evidence. That will be interesting to see. But I hope all of you guys are watching, not as this is some movie, because it's not a movie, but I will say it is one of the most interesting and crazy stories that isn't a story, because it's real life. You can't write things like this. So that's maybe why I'm so fascinated by this particular case. I watch a lot of court TV and shows. I love stuff like this, missing persons cases. I've always had an interest in stuff like that. However, I do think that, you know, this case changed things because of the age of the victim. But I do think this is not a concert. This is not a rock show. And to all of you people who ran like bats out of hell in Florida to run to get front row seats or any seats in a courtroom for a capital murder case, you should feel like this big. Why? It's a damn murder trial. You are not trying to go get concert tickets to the damn Jonas Brothers. You are going to a murder trial. You shouldn't be so excited and smiling and be so happy and full of glee that you did this. I didn't understand that. So y'all are lame for that. But thank you guys for watching. I'm going to keep watching the case. I hope you're watching too. Leave your comments. Add a response video. That's fine with me. Thank you for watching, everybody. Peace, YouTube.